audio. In 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 audio.
What is happening, people? Welcome back to Saeed TV, and we are live for the Mandem Talk Wednesdays, 5 p.m. You know the score by now. You should know the score. It's written right in your calendar, write it in your notebook. What do you say, Faz?
We got an issue, man. We got an issue we must address. Why is Martial and Ty disappeared at the same time?
Mm,
We have to call it as it is, boys. Mandem. This is the Mandem talk. This is the brothers. We have to
Yeah.
assess the assessment. Why is Ty and Martial disappeared at the same time? It's a bit sus. This is a bit concerning.
even Ty's trying to find out why Martial is still missing. He didn't probably understand why. But listen, you know what I mean. Big up to Ty. He's not here today. He was enjoying Cheltenham yesterday, so he'll be back next week. Musa will be here soon, and also Neji will be here soon as well. Musa's going to be here in a minute, and then Neji in a second. But listen, we're here for Mandem Talk. Kane, Osimhen, Giancarlo Ramos, Vlahovic. Which striker do you want as Man United fans to come to Old Trafford in the summer? But before we do that, we've got Brian in the building. Brian, what are you telling me, my broski?
I'm good, man. What are you saying?
Yeah, man. Bless, man. How's Belgium, man? How's Belgium?
It's cold, man. It's getting cold. We thought we was going to see summer last week, but it's getting colder now, so it's a bit long.
Man.
But we good.
Weather, man. But yeah, man. Big up to you for coming on. We got man like Kaz in the building. Kaz, what are you saying, man? What are you saying? Are you feeling Qatari still? Are you feeling Qatari?
Of course, man. It's all good in the hood, man. I got no worries about it anymore, man. I think it's quite evident it's gonna be Qatari, man. Glazers are greedy, man. They're gonna want the most money. I don't care what other people are gonna come in, Elliott schemes and all Ponzi schemes. I don't care what scheme it is. It's Qatari time, man. It's calm.
Come on. And Planet Vaz is in the building. Planet Vaz, you know what I mean? We had issues with Dalot over the weekend, but it's everything smooth now. Pep Guardiola said, "I know more than the Twitter people." Are you saying that you know?
You know, these guys, they obviously see Twitter, man. They see Twitter, they see Facebook.
Yeah.
And I had to post a conversation of myself with a particular player. The fan base don't know the player, of course. I'm not gonna release that. But I
Yeah.
said the exact same thing to the player that I said face to face. And I even showed the response from the player as well, from the DMs. I'm surprised that the top Reds didn't retweet that. I'm surprised that they didn't look into that. That tweet did like 100,000 plus views or whatever. But listen, at the end of the day, Saeed and all the Mandem and all the viewers, one thing you must realize is we are in a business where we critique players on camera. We show our face daily and weekly and critique these players. Well, guess what? We should have the same energy in front of the player too. That's how real recognize. That's what you call real. In front, I'm not going to be saying, oh my God, I love you so much. If you're performing bad and you embarrassed me, I'm going to tell you, you performed bad and you embarrassed me. If you performed exceptionally well and you made me proud, I'm going to tell you, you performed well and I'm proud of you. And the first thing is, I said to Dallo, we back you, we are behind you. And I remember as well, Saeed, when I made the post and I said to, obviously, I've had numerous conversations with Dallo. I think it's my 9th conversation now.
Yeah, I said, friends, man.
I said to Dallo, by the way, again, to give you context, he recognizes me. I don't ask him for pictures no more. This time, a specific fan asked me for a message from Dallo. He asked for a message. And I asked Dallo, can you please do me a message for this fan? He said, yes, Faz, I'll do it. And he did the message. And then I sent that message to the fan. I didn't release it to the public because that message is for that person who requested it from me. And I'm a person of my honor. So I did that. And then I said to Dallo what I said, etc., etc. If a player does not, if you are one of those people that expect that online is for venting, online is for this, no, it isn't, mate. This is people see online and it affects them just as much. And positive encouragement is always needed. I was the one that told Dallo in a viral video as well, Dallo, win me the Carabao Cup, win me the FA Cup and all of this. And guess what happened? He was laughing then as well. He was laughing then.
That's what it's about, man. Nah, listen, man.
It is what it is, man.
People will talk, but you know what I mean? We're here, man. Front line, man. So
when I said that to him, Saeed, all the fans, tens and tens of fans, 60, 70 fans near me, not one person said anything. Not a single person said anything to me. But online, everybody's a gangster. Online, everybody's a G. But I'm the same person that I am in real life that I'm on camera, man. Always.
Facts. Big up to everybody who's locked in, man. Over 300 of you's already in the chat. Make sure you guys like the video. If you haven't done anything right now, you should be hitting that like button. Let's start off with you, Kaz. Ramos, Osimhen, Kane, or Vlahovic? Who are you?
Evan Ferguson.
Unlimited budget, who would you want?
Evan Ferguson.
This guy always has.
Why are you turning your nose up at that? Like you asked me for why is there not a fifth option?
Because we got Qataris coming and we got unlimited budget. So what are you choosing?
Scrap all of that then. I want Mbappe.
This guy. No, he's right. He's right.
No, yeah, but he wants to play number like it's where it's him and him and Rashford can switch. I want him then. You said I've got unlimited budget. I want to put fear into the team like Haaland put fear into RB Leipzig. Go get me Mbappe. Why is it the Qatari owners are the same people, well, roughly or whatever, PSG and all this kind of stuff potentially? Why can they not work a deal? They're out the Champions League.
The reason why I've asked you Mbappe is because Mbappe wants to still drift on the wing. That's what he's moaning about. He doesn't want to play striker. He wants to drift on the wing.
Yo, can you imagine Mbappe, Rashford, Sancho just mixing and matching? All that. Okay,
I get it. But at the same time, we want an out and out number 9. That's the focus for me right now. So for the ones that are here, Kane, Osimhen, Vlahovic, or Giancarlo Ramos, who are you wanting?
All right, first and foremost, I don't want Gonzalo Ramos. Actually, I like Gonzalo Ramos, but I'm not convinced on him just yet. He kind of gives me Purple Patch vibes a little bit. I think he needs to go a little bit more before we fork out 80 to 100. I think they want 100 million for him. So that's the automatic no for me. Kane, look, Levy is difficult, man. Levy is so difficult. And you think we're going to get a preseason with Kane? I don't know, man. That's what worries me. I'll take Kane in a heartbeat, man. If one of the best number 9s on the planet. And you don't really get players like that. He's still, I'd rather, again, I think I said it before. If he wants to be difficult, I'd rather wait another year and give him a pre-contract in January. I'm pretty sure that a load of other clubs will as well. But if that's the case, then cool. I'd rather just do that. I'd rather not pay 100. They want 100 million. And I know it's going to be difficult on both sides. Because the thing is, they say, yeah, we want 90 million. Let's say they say, yeah, I want 85 million. We'll give them 85 million. They'll be like, it'll drag it out, man. This is why Ferguson didn't want to deal with Levy after Berbatov anymore. After all that time, he's the exact same person. For me, I really like Osimhen, man. Something that we do lack, and I think is something that we can bring to the side because it won't just be Osimhen. Osimhen, yeah, his link-up play is a bit brutal a little bit in a way. He's not prettiest on the eye when it comes to link-up and stuff like Kane. But Osimhen brings something that we do lack, which is just raw PNP, power, pace, and all that stuff. And obviously a great finish on him. He's good in the air. He's got the tools. I think he's really suited to the Premier League. And I think we'll get players around that if we do get Qataris, like it may be a ball playing midfielder, another centre mid, a defensive mid that can cover like Casemiro at times. That maybe might be a bit of a different option. Just things around him that can make him succeed. Then if we could, so my one would be Osimhen, and I would, if you're going to go all out, because all these players probably cost around the same much except for one. One that's interesting for me is Vlahovic. He really does interest me. Because he was that ball at Fiorentina and it hasn't worked out for him at Juventus, but a lot of players ain't worked out at Juventus yet. And they're also going through a period where he's not going to cost a lot of money. Now, if you put a price tag like 100 million on the player, that's instant pressure. That's a lot of pressure. And who knows if any of these players can handle that pressure. Vlahovic doesn't strike me as an £80 million player or anything. I think you can probably get him done for 50 to 60 million in this day and age. It would be out of all four of them, he would be the safest option. But I don't know. But I do like the look of Vlahovic, man. He gives me Michu vibes.
Vlahovic? Nah.
Yeah. He does, man. He's got a cool finish on him. He does have a cool left-footed finish on him. I like him a lot. Again, he's like a more to me. He's kind of like a refined Nunes in a way, man. Trust me, a more refined one. But I do like Osimhen, man. He's the Man United. I want top of the tree. I want the best. We're talking about number 9s of Man United, and I don't think I need to say much more in that situation. I think I've narrowed that down quite nicely.
Faz, the media are running towards Harry Kane and whatnot, but for what we need, you know what I mean, in the summer, the way our style of play is, man, you know what I mean. I think Vlahovic could suit it. I can't lie to you. Not the quickest, but very technical. Vlahovic has that PMP. Kane is probably, as a complete striker, you're gonna get. Okay, he doesn't have the pace, but everything else is very much complete. And Osimhen is that raw pace and power that would be electric in the Premier League. What kind of gets towards you? What are you feeling?
So, firstly, what I'd like to introduce to people is the age difference alone, right? Victor Osimhen at the moment is 24 years of age, and Harry Kane is 29. When Harry Kane was 24, do you know the numbers this man was putting on? Ridiculous numbers in the Premier League. Harry Kane in the 2017-18 season, around that time, was putting up 40 goals in all comps. 40 in all comps. That's the level Harry Kane was functioning. I don't want Harry Kane. I want Osimhen. But listen to what I'm saying, guys, right? This man, Harry Kane, if the club is going for him, we must not rebuttal and we must not be upset. Because there's one thing you must understand that Harry Kane has is the IQ of the Premier League. The IQ you can't buy Premier League IQ. You have to be in Premier League to have Premier League IQ. That was ridiculous what he's been doing season in, season out. His injury record is not a concern. I repeat, his injury record is not a concern. They had concerns over RVP's injury record. Look what happened when RVP came to Man United. Also, a player who's playing 20 plus games in a season, 30 games in a season, that's not a player that's injury record prone. That's first, right? Then when you move on, you have to look at ceiling. We have to, in essence, right, build the team around the striker. Is it a logical thing to build your team or strengthen your team around a 30-year-old? It's not. It's not sustainable. It's not future proof. And we must be future proof because other teams are going to look to future proof. Manchester City have future proofed themselves with Haaland and Alvarez. That's how you. Arsenal have future proofed themselves with Nketiah and also Jesus. And maybe another
Maybe
one.
Balogun as well, maybe.
We need to future proof. Spurs need to future proof themselves. So they're going to want to flog Kane off eventually. Let's be honest. Is Harry Kane going to win a Ballon d'Or at 34 years old like Benzema? The probability is, I don't think so. I might be proven wrong, but I don't think so. So now you look at the other options in the world of striker. In order, Osimhen, fantastic. No injuries below the bottom half of his body, meaning all his injuries are top half, chest, face, head, shoulder, whatever you want to call it. His legs are solid. No injury concern for Osimhen. Gonçalo Ramos, absolutely clanging and banging. Did they not get Nunes? Let's be honest. And Nunes is banging, no? We memed and trolled.
As much as we banter it, yeah. As much as we banter it.
His numbers are there, guys. Numbers are there. You can't deny. You can't take that away from him. Gonçalo Ramos, at the age that he is, he's a specimen. He's a genetic specimen. For a 21-year-old to be that size and that much of a beast is unheard of. I'm telling you, in 2 to 3 years' time, they are going to be looking at Gonçalo Ramos as the next big thing because he's still young. They overlook him. Vlahovic is a deal that you would concern because, look, the guy is in Juventus. Juventus need money. It's a good time to go raid Juventus. You're not going to overpay for Dusan Vlahovic. You're going to pay the correct price. Whereas the likes of Ramos, Napoli are going to suck you dry as well. So it's one of those things. I'm happy if the manager is willing to sign Vlahovic. Osimhen.
Who's your one? Who's your out of them four then? Who's your, before? Obviously, I know.
Gonçalo Ramos.
Is your number one?
Gonçalo Ramos is 2, and Osimhen is 1. I would go for one of them. I just like Osimhen's desire for goal. You know that desire when I've seen him press.
He's a madman.
Hell, he's a madman, right? That's fact. I need madmen in my team. That's what I want. Haaland's goal
is a madman.
Haaland isn't the most techie and on the ball. He's just a madman. He's just a madman on the pitch. I need the goals that Haaland scored yesterday, were they sexy? No, they were not. They were scrappy, tap-ins, in the right place, right time. But
that FIFA, innit? It's that FIFA. You know when you shoot and it deflects and it just lands to someone first. And it's like it just goes to the opposition. It's like it's there.
I need a striker that will feed off the scraps and make the scraps into the most tastiest goals. That's what I need. And Victor Osimhen is that guy. He's got that Nigerian anger, power, passion in him, and I need that. That's what we deserve.
Yeah. On top of that, I just want to note something quickly. Remember, we need someone that's got height. We need someone that's tall and good in the air. There's 2 players in there that are good in the air, Kane and Osimhen. We need someone like that in our team. We lack that. When someone crosses the ball, we lack something, man. We need more options.
Especially when Anthony, who likes to cross it in, especially Sancho, who can do that.
You guys, I don't know if you guys picked up on it, but Gonçalo Ramos outdid Ronaldo's header height.
Yeah.
Remember?
How was it?
In
the World Cup.
Ronaldo's header.
Yeah. You're right. I've seen that.
To do, man. Special.
I like Gonçalo Ramos. I just don't know if he's ready yet.
I tell everyone, I like good head. I like aerial threat, man.
False.
I like aerial threat.
Is that what?
Big up to Sule. Sule BGS says Praz is preaching. However, we don't need Osimhen to score 40 goals. Rashford, Anthony, and Garnacho will do the. Big up Moses in the building as well. We'll get him in and give him his opinion as well. Brian, what are you saying? What are you saying, Brian, man? After hearing everyone, what are you saying? What are you feeling, broski?
Nah, I was listening to the points, and for me, I would prefer Kane because if you look at the last few years, when him and Son linked up, I think he got around, let's say for the last 2-3 seasons, he got 10 plus assists. And that's something that when as a striker, you're not scoring goals, what else do you offer to a team? I like Osimhen because he's explosive, he can finish, he scores different types of goals. But what I like about Harry Kane is that he can, like Osimhen, can score all type of goals inside the box, outside the box. He's a penalty specialist. Is something that we might add to the team as well. But he adds a lot with build-up play, assists, and that's where, Because if you look at Rashford, and let's say we pair him next to Osimhen, Rashford is not someone that's gonna, because we saw it last week when he should have squared to Garnacho and he didn't. He's not someone that's gonna provide a lot. And that's what you a little bit need with players like with Osimhen, with maybe Gonzalo Ramos. They need players that they can feed off with. And with Kane, he can create for himself and create for others. So I think that's a more suitable option. But then yes, you have to look at age. He's 29, 30. So that means he's a short-term fix for the next 2-3 years. And we as United fans, I've always said we want players. We don't want players for right now. We want players that can be there, because we've got the players over the last few years, like a Falcao, like a Di Maria, who are good in the first 2 yeyears, but they're not going to add to us more than let's say 2-3 years. So for me, it's a little bit of a mix. I like Kane because I've seen him. I've seen what he's done in the Prem. He's proven even for lesser teams where Spurs don't like. If you look at that midfield last season, you got Højbjerg there and you got Bentancur, and you still score plus 20 goals. That's something that you need to look at, because even Son is not even someone that creates a lot. So I like Kane because he can create for himself, he can create for others. And he's right now, if we look at the old school statistics, he should be in his prime or at the back end of his prime. So we should have either 1 or 2 years up from him. And I think with Kane that can get 20 goals, and then you get Rashford, they can get 20 goals, I think we'll have a more devastating lineup. Because with Osimhen, he's someone that, okay, cool, he's very good, but I need all the goals, and we don't need that. We had someone last
Gonzalo
year.
Ramos is very balanced, though. By the way,
Yeah,
all
he
the
is.
strikers, he has the most assists. By the way,
He has
link up play is
4.
crazy.
Yeah, he has
9.
4. I think
9.
he has 4 in the Portuguese league.
Yeah, no,
But-
you're right. He does it in the Champions League though as well, so that's what I like.
Yeah, but then
Yeah,
the thing is,
fair.
with Kane, he's done it for multiple seasons, isn't it? So I think that's for me
He
the
was
best
what,
option.
21. We got Musa and Neji in the building. Before I bring you in, Neji, Musa, people are saying Ivan Toney as well. That could be an option as well. But out of the 3 there that we've kind of discussing, Kane, Osimhen, Vlahovic, or Ramos, which one you know what I mean, gets your taste buds? Which one do you feel like is the kind of the one we need? Because you're looking at Haaland, he's a goal machine, man. You know what I mean? So we need that vibe, man. We need that vibe.
I don't know, man. I think, can you guys hear me all right? Yeah.
Yeah, can hear you. Yeah.
Yeah, man. So I'm just like, okay, when I look at all of those, I think like ideally, I think the younger strikers in that category. I don't know if where we are now and what we're trying to do in the Premier League in terms of the pressure that comes in. And I think there's just always pressure when you come through that Man United door. It's like, are we going to be, as a fan base, are we going to allow them to have a season where they might only put in 9 goals? And we're not going to say, oh, they're dead. I don't know what's going on. Are they up for it? Blah. Are we going to be on that type of conversation if they only put in like 9 or 10 goals in their first season? Or are we prepared to like sit back and allow them to kind of get used to the Premier League and then maybe second season hit the ball running? And as a squad and as a team, can Man United afford to have a striker who comes in and maybe he's top goal scoring, like his top amount of goals that he scores in his first season is around the 12, 13 mark? Is the Mandem happy with that? Because if we're happy with that, then I'll say bring in some of these strikers who are not, you know, playing in the Prem, who are a bit younger, and we give them that time to do that and get used to the football that Eric is playing and see where it goes. If they hit the ground running, then all good. If not,
like a Sesko, younger,
like a Sesko, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like a Sesko, even the other two, like Vlahovic and what's his name,
Ramos,
and what are you saying? We don't think we're going to get the Nigerian striker.
Well, it's going to cost a lot of money, and you know Napoli's owner doesn't negotiate easy. So again, you know we could be priced out for that one. But you're
Ramos
saying
as well, because what I'm saying is, yeah, even Ramos, if they come in with 90 million, we do another 100 million euro buy, and it's an Anthony, and then we're sitting there saying, everyone's moaning at him the way they're doing with Anthony. I'm like, where are we going? That's why for me, I'm like, can we go and get the next up and coming somewhere in Brazil, who I don't think the fan base will get on his back.
As the number one striker.
No, not as the number one. Can we go and get a striker like that for about 30 million pounds, like we see City are able to do? Even less. How much they get Alvarez for? 13, 15 million?
14 million.
14, yeah. That's what I'm saying, 40 million pounds. Can we go and get a striker of that ilk for around 25 maximum, and then go and bring in a Kane who we know is going to hit the ground running and score us no doubts about it. Kane comes in, he scores goals. We know what he does, and we go and get like an Alvarez, who Ten Hag can build up or mold up. By the time Kane's out the door in about 2 or 3 seasons, we've got this young buck from somewhere like, you know what I'm saying, South America, doing his job, and the fan base haven't got onto him and have allowed him to build. And as much as we all sit here as a fan base as well, we've got an elephant in the room, guys. We still don't know what they're doing with my man.
Yeah.
Let's just call him my man. And we know my man. Greenwood. We still don't know what they're doing and how they look at him, because he's a big asset. And let's get real, guys. His first season, he's tucking away like 15, 16 goals. He's not playing games with it. So it's like, we don't know what's happening over there. Do you know what I'm trying to say? So for me,
his missus, mate.
Yeah, you know how it goes. So for me, I'm like, where do we go for that? So for me, this is why I will prefer to get like a younger striker, and he comes and makes his name at Man United, you know, around that £20 million mark. You know, someone who's up and coming, like a Sesko before he went to where he's at now. Like, getting them in. Why are we always waiting until someone else, what they go on? And the madness is they only go and do it somewhere else for about 2 seasons. If we look at Enzo at Chelsea, from when we wanted him to him going to Chelsea, it's 1 year, bro.
I like
look at the price tag. Go on.
Another young striker's name. I like Evan Ferguson a lot, by the way, a lot. But you know, there's another one. Broja from Chelsea, who looked kind of out of favor. I really like this guy, man. He is a bull. Like, honestly, when I say bull, like, he's
deal, though.
I
signed a 6-year deal. He signed a 6-year deal. He's the future of Chelsea, man.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Where's our one?
Yeah, well, obviously, that's what I'm saying.
You know what it is, bro? I was in jail.
There's a release clause.
How's this called? Joe Hugo and Charlie McNeil, man.
Yeah,
I like Charlie
they're not matching work, man. Let me ask you a question, and let me just bring in Neji in this one. You know, Musa brings a point of the future, but also, you know, the short term. I think United can challenge for the league next year if you get a couple of signings right. You know, so Harry Kane, Musa might shake his head, but if you go and get Harry Kane, my preference.
Harry Kane, I agree. It's not my preference.
Kane, it could be the Van Persie effect, Neji, where you get with a couple of other signings, bam, you already saw you got a world-class striker, then you got other midfielders in there, or are you kind of like, not sure if we're quite there yet?
I don't know, man. Firstly, obviously, big up the Mandem. Apologies for the lateness. Finished work, had a Mazda, and had a cat sitting on the lap because I ain't giving no attention. I came straight to the Mandem before touching the cat. My man's dropped a stinky doo-doo, bro, and I've had to skip it and to come to the Mandem talk. So make sure you like the video first and foremost. My nostrils are burning. But listen, it is what it is, isn't it? Cat shit stinks worse than dog shit. We're not having that debate, though. We're talking about Harry Kane right now. Listen, Harry Kane, yeah? It's fact, man. It's fact. We're not having that debate. Listen, I'm going to start off with saying, because I need to make sure this is said properly, yeah? I rate Harry Kane's talent, and out of all the names you've mentioned, I'm taking the talent of Harry Kane. My big question mark over Harry Kane, and it's a theory that I have based on observations, doesn't necessarily mean it will come true or that it will stick, but I don't believe he has the right character to play for Manchester United and wear that red shirt. Reasons being, I see him in certain situations at Tottenham when he's had opportunities to move, but he chooses to stay. That tells me a little bit about his mentality to say, again, I'm not questioning his talent, so I'm agreeing with that, everyone. Yeah, I'm talking about mentality now. That's it. That's the only question mark for me. Does he really want to step up to that level? Does he want to still be Tottenham's best scorer? Cool. Do you think? Because if that's the case, then I'm looking at my man as like he's Graham Lasseau. Graham Lasseau was a baller. He could have gone to Chelsea. He could have gone anywhere. That's a bit old for some people. But Graham Lasseau was a baller, yeah? So that's a question for me. I look at certain situations which in his career that he's had for England and for Spurs where there's a chance, yeah, when you're a big team player or you're a big player for your team and you're the main guy, there's certain opportunities that arise in football, yeah, which can help you either change the course of your club's history, not individual records, the club's history in terms of putting your club onto something or getting them to a level where they haven't been before as a club, and you're the main man, and the ball comes to you and you have the opportunity to take it. More or less, he doesn't actually take the opportunity. I'll give you one example of many. The Raheem Sterling situation, all you have to do is square him. In that heat of the moment, a big moment, you had a big decision to make. I don't really think he makes that. Now, there's not as much pressure at Tottenham than there is at United. The moment you put the red shirt on, every game you have to go and beat Southampton. You can't just get away with losing or drawing Southampton and get no heat. Can he handle that heat? Has he got the character to do it? So again, I'm not questioning his talent and ability. I question the mentality. And for him being 30 years old, again, and you know what? I'm going to challenge my own theory, so you know I'm being balanced. When Van Persie left Arsenal, or Arsenal, shall we say, yeah, when he left Arsenal and he came straight and he came to Fergie, obviously he won trophies. Yeah, or he won his trophy. I'm not saying Ten Hag can't actually get that extra bit out of Kane mentally and make him step up another level mentally, because I think he's a product of his environment, which has allowed that kind of complacency. So I have question marks over Kane, but do I want his talent over all the other names you said? All day, every day. I do agree with the youngster situation where you're going to get him for 2-3 years, but where we are right now as United, like we've seen with Casemiro and Varane, we're going to need someone for 2 or 3 years to set the tone and standards. So let's forget my theory. Let's say Kane shuts me up. He actually steps up to the mark when matters. He brings home trophies, may win the league, yeah? We're going to need to be an attractive club again anyway. So maybe it's a case of getting Kane in for 2-3 years, and then you maybe keep a Weghorst as a third striker and go find yourself a 20-30 million pound second striker, yeah? If Martial leaves. That means you've got Harry Kane. That means you've got Harry Kane as your main striker. You've got your next man who you bring in, and Weghorst is just there to get over for the fourth cup or whatever, the fourth round ties, yeah? Then it's a case of if you win trophies, then Mandem are going to start looking at the team going, raw. This team's going places now, and Harry Kane can then see his career out. We then bring in that second striker who we built up to be Kane's replacement, then bring another brother in. Weghorst can go play for Newcastle for 20 mil. Standard procedure. That's how I'm running it. Football manager-esque. Telling you now. That's me,
quick one on that, Neji. But don't you think that Harry Kane tried to make that move with Man City and they refused it? He tried to make that step up. There was a point in his career where he. And I think that's when he showed. Yeah, I think that's when he showed his mentality.
But I think,
and my man held him back and said no. I remember he went quiet for the first 10 games of the season. He was fuming. He didn't show up, and then he turned up against our man, scored 20+ goals.
So here's the situation with that one, Musa, yeah? He's the situation with that one. And I know people will reference a simple case of Rooney wanted to leave, Gerrard wanted to leave, like big names wanted to leave the club. Cool. Man United and them other clubs are challenging at the time, yeah? Or had an echelons to challenge. Kane, yes, he did kick up a fuss, but then why are you signing a 7-year contract? If it's me and I've got ambition, I'm saying, look, I know this club ain't winning shit. Let's keep it a buck, yeah? They ain't winning shit. Absolutely dog shit, cat shit. Let's call it cat shit. There you go, it stinks. Their club stinks. They're winning nothing, yeah? Fact. So I'm going in there and saying, listen, I will stay for one more season. You make Champions League, you add into the club, otherwise I bounce. In my contract, I start to write in there, I'll stay for a year based on these clauses. If we don't do it and I give you GA like I always have, I've done my bit. Then it's a case of I should be able to leave for whatever amount. He should have signed something like that. Not a 7-year contract or whatever it was with stupid money. Because that to me says you sign your soul to the devil. You know you're not going to be there for that long. And really, that's a bit silly.
But the thing is,
I don't know. I question that, bro.
When he signed for Spurs, I think there was like the season after they played the Champions League final. It makes sense though, because if you look at Spurs at that time, you think they're developing into a top side. They might challenge the top 3. So he's looking at the project like, okay, cool. I like this. Let me sign for a longer period. I want to be here at the club. I want to be a club legend. And then everything just went to shit. I think it's the same thing when we signed Pogba. We promised him big players, and then we stuck in Schweinsteiger next to him, and he was like, cool, this is not what I signed up for. So I think the same thing happened with Kane. But I hear what everyone is saying about young players. But then Faz brought up a good point, is that we as a fan base, and right now where we are, let's say we're like 11 points behind Arsenal. And if we add on the first 2 games of the season, it should be around 5 points. When we get a striker for next season, it needs to be someone that can add us that extra 11 points that we missed out on this season. So even though we want a young player, we need someone right now that can fill in the gap, because we was getting gassed this season because we've done way better than we would
expectations, isn't it?
Yeah, we've done way better. So now you need a striker that can bring you that.
We need to install fear. We need to install fear into these teams. And if one of those players install fear into me, it's Osimhen. He installs fear, bro. If we can control the game with Osimhen in there with Rashford, your line is getting pushed back at Old Trafford. You might as well pay your low block.
Who suits the players that we've got? Let me ask you a question, Faz, let me start with you. Who suits the players that we've got so far? Is it a Kane or is it Osimhen? Because you're looking at Anthony is there, Rashford, you've got Bruno Fernandes. You know what I mean? That front kind of five almost. Yeah, who suits it the most without looking at who you want? Just looking at it from objectively, who suits who?
I think this is just one striker coming in. This is not a ball carrying midfielder involved or anything as such. But with what we have and just one player being added, which is a striker, it has to be Osimhen or the likes of Gonçalo Ramos. Because look, one of the main concerns that I have is when my wingers are blistering down the wing, my striker at the moment is not able to keep up with the wingers. Weggy is not able to keep up with the front line. So when
Weggy.
we, huh?
Weggy.
Yeah, Weggy is not able to keep up with the line. He must be able to maintain. Listen, when you're breaking, right? That's what we're known for: counters and break. And even in the future, right, when we're playing intricate football, we will need strikers that will be able to keep up with line breaking pass. Now, even when we went counter-attacking this season, Anthony's chipped a ball or laid a soft ball to Weghorst. He struggled to get there. He struggled. I can't have struggling pace. I need blistering pace. You must get there. Even when we for example, trying to beat Southampton's press or trying to beat teams' press. If David De Gea is playing, by the way, a lot of the times you're going to see ball being hoofed up. And if the ball is being hoofed up and the headers are not, we can't get headers, I need players to chase the ball. It's so important to push your team further up on the pitch just by having ball being flung into the other half, into the other half's box or anything. So it needs to be someone like a Osimhen who can run in and also who won't get tired running for 95 minutes straight. Do you know how important false runs are? Like, people forget. Just fake runs, false runs, trying to keep constantly. The centre-back's nervous system gets broken down throughout the game because all they're thinking is, oh, he's going to run. I need to be on my edge. I need to be on my tiptoes. And then the one moment that you're caught sleeping, as we say, the defense got caught sleeping, in comes a ball from, whoever, and then we get our goal. But that's the type of striker we need. And Neji made a fantastic point, is Harry Kane's mentality. What motivates him getting up in the morning? He's 30 years old now. What is going to motivate him? A Premier League okay.
I disagree.
To close off his tenure in the Premier League, to put icing. He's coming for icing on the cake. We don't need, I'll be honest with you, we don't need icing on the cake mentality. We need, let's build the cake. Champions League, Premier League, FA Cup, year in, year out. Remember when we won the Premier League and Champions League, Sir Alex said to the players, no parade. Next season we go again. We're going to get Harry Kane coming in and saying, Premier League, God is good. They didn't believe in us, but Man United did. And then
it's been years, man. We need that first trophy. It's been years.
I'll be real. I think the way we talk about Ten Hag changing mentalities of some of these players. Who said that Harry Kane doesn't come into Man United with something new, and then Ten Hag changes the way he thinks, and he becomes this, I don't know, elite striker that we all know anyways. For me, what we currently lack, I don't think Osimhen does anything for our team right now. Because what we do lack is he relies on creativity through Kvaratskhelia and their other wingers and so forth. If we play Osimhen up front, we're just going to be relying on long ball over the top because Osimhen is robust when it comes to link up. He relies on them, rebounds in the box and everything, and maybe something to run onto. I think the Premier League currently, the way it is, I think he'll be banging goals right now a little bit more, but I wouldn't think he'll be thriving in this Man United. We need creativity and control. There's only one player in there that can give me that. Two, actually. Harry Kane, unfortunately, and Ramos and Evan Ferguson. But what's it called? Kane and Ramos.
Let me ask you a question,
they give us something that where we can control the game at that little bit more. But as Faz said, if we add that's without the ball player. But if we add a ball player, then Osimhen is probably going to be perfect.
But
I think Bruno can. I think go on.
That's my question. Would Bruno work with Harry Kane?
Bruno work with Harry Kane. Listen, Bruno's a smart player, but Bruno will make Osimhen score goals. I ain't got no doubt about that. Bruno will make Osimhen score goals. I think Bruno is a top player. Like, I think he makes people around him better. I think people will try to go on like he's not really on them levels and he doesn't do that. But I think he's underestimated. And I think we've also seen what Bruno can do a bit deeper in the last couple of games. But I don't think Osimhen's a problem. I really don't. I just feel like we have so much expectation of him. I'm prepared to give him a season to bed in. I don't think the fan base are, though, because I'm seeing how optimistic people are with him. So I feel like they're trying to compare him to what Kane would do in his first season. And I think if you're going to get Osimhen in thinking he's going to do a Harry Kane in his first season, he ain't got time to breathe then. Because every time he hits them wide, and it's not going in, and he's going through that little patch in his first season, everyone's going to go on a madness, play this player, next minute he's getting benched. Whereas I think with Harry Kane, it's a bit different. So I think if the fan base is realistic and are prepared,
Haaland and Alvarez didn't need a season. And
they're not Osimhen. They're different players.
Alvarez barely plays.
They got Kevin De Bruyne behind them and everything.
And they got different
quality, right? Whether it be numbers or anything, quality shines at the end of the day.
No, but if you go into like a City team that's been winning like 4 out of the last 5, you know, they're scoring goals without strikers with false nines, and they're still topping like the goals and stuff. You're just thinking, if I get in there, it's game, set, match. That is the icing on the cake. I think like with United, there's a lot to go on, and I feel like if we're gonna put that pressure on players other than Harry Kane, I think with Harry Kane, we can all put that pressure on him and say, listen, you've been doing it. We're not giving you a season. We want you to hit the ground running. I think we can't do that with anyone else. But the problem is, I'm feeling like we are. Like people are thinking, like, let me ask you all a question. Out of all the strikers you've named, if you can only buy one, which one do you think you can buy that can win you the league in his first season?
Kane.
Can't lie, Osimhen about to win the Serie A with Napoli.
In his first season, I'm just saying.
Napoli's first title win over 30 years.
Yeah,
but I'm just saying, if you had a chance to buy, if they said buy one of these strikers only to win you the league next season, who are you lot going with?
I'd go keep it real, man. I'd go Kane, and the only reason I go Kane is because, and again, not just because of the goals, but for the simple fact is, I know in a fluent system of what Ten Hag's got going on, he doesn't rely on one main goal scorer. You know what I mean? He has a lot of input from his midfielders, obviously wide players as well, on a creativity standpoint, or even from a goal scoring standpoint. So I know if Kane ain't scoring, he still has a job to do in terms of bringing other players into that team. I don't see Osimhen doing that personally, although I believe he could be.
I think Osimhen. I believe he's better as well, and I believe he's better. But I'm just saying he's not doing it in his first season. But I still think Osimhen's better. If we're all prepared to give him a season, let's all go. Let's get Osimhen. If you're not prepared to give him a season and you lot want to win the league next year, go and get Harry Kane. That's just the bottom line. So if you want to win it, because what's going to happen is that Rashford's had a great season. Then I look at the stats, and Kane's still above all them, man. I'm thinking, how did this guy do it? Why? How's Kane up there?
Different strikers will need different strikers will need different players.
I know, but we're saying he's had a great season.
Anthony and Sancho.
Kane gets hat tricks. Oh my days, what a lie!
We don't have enough pace.
For a 3-1 game, whereas Rashford
Listen,
won.
See that, Saeed?
One in each every game. One in each every game. Whereas Kane
but Saeed, you see that line that you just said there? I need my strikers to score hat tricks. That's enough for me. I ain't got nothing else to say. Kane scores hat tricks.
Yeah, but
that's all I need, bro.
Different players require different players.
Kane's gonna need I'm with you, but I need hat tricks
around him. We don't really have that too tough. And this is with our current batch of players, by the way. Osimhen needs creators around him. Like he might not work well with Rashford, but they're both goal scorers, which is something that we do need. We need goal scorers as much as the next. But then with Osimhen, you require probably more creators, maybe probably a better right back at that can actually cross a damn ball. Where you can lurk into. You know, we don't have a right back that can cross the damn ball properly. Unfortunately,
but that's the thing with Kane, though. He can do both, innit?
Different things. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He can do everything.
The only thing he lacked. If I give you a hypothetical now, let's say Kane comes in, scores 10 less goals, but maybe adds 5 more assists to his overall tally, or I even go one further. I've got 15 less goals, but adds 5 more assists to his tally, and we actually perform better in matches. Will you still take that?
No, depends.
Because Kane right now at Spurs is being fed most of his goals, obviously, when it comes to strike-up situations. When he's dropping deep, even though he drops deep and lays off balls, his assists are still only coming in and around the box. So really and truly, he's capable of doing those things. But again, the issue is the entire Tottenham team is dead out. With United, if you're going to be on the front foot more often, Obviously, his goal tally is going to go up. One of them may dry up. But if that means another player takes his goal instead of him getting it, what's the issue either way?
Mandem, you see them goals?
That's a good
Mandem. Nah, but Greenwood might be here next season. We have to accept it. My thing is that as much as we might play games, if we buy Harry Kane and Man United keep Greenwood, it is what it is. There's like we might be playing games with that.
I ain't cheering him.
Wait.
You don't have to cheer him.
Hold on, we can't forget who Osimhen has on his side as well. He's got an monster on the wing. One of the best players in the world is on the
madness
side for him. You can't just take
I'd go for both if I had a choice. We had Qataris, I'd go double sweep.
On top of
that, I'll go double sweep. But what I was going to say quickly, guys, is that
let me just land this point. On top of that, this thing about Greenwood coming in and Kane and Greenwood this and Kane and Greenwood that. Greenwood has not played a professional game
2 years. 2 years.
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't
matter. Not over preseason. Not over preseason. Not over preseason. Not over preseason. You know why?
It's longer than that, bro.
Mason Greenwood not hitting the ground.
No, guys. Guys have gone jail. Like I've had season bans and all of that. And
13 months he's gone, isn't it?
Yeah, but
I'm not having it.
Let me repeat.
No, I'm not having it. That's what you. Who says he hasn't trained at all? Come on, guys.
He hasn't trained.
You believe that? With the money he's got, he's just sat in his house like this.
Training is different, bro.
Hold on. Has he trained in Carrington? No. Has he played behind the closed door games with the team? No. Has he had any form of interaction with Ten Hag at all? No. Training is nothing compared to playing actual games. By the way, playing behind the closed door games is also nothing compared to real matches. He needs another whole season or two. Mason Greenwood.
That's a myth. That's a myth.
Mandem,
you don't have a pre-seat back. Mandem, you can't be 22 years old. Go on.
Wait, just before you respond, yeah, on top of that, the pressure that's now going to be applied to Man United based on the splits in the fan base, can he handle that, given the fact that sections of the fan base are going to come for him and some people are going to support him? Can he handle that every time he touches the ball? Can he handle that? That's the question.
Morally, go on.
Hit the ground running. And without actual matches, he's going to be an addition. How? He needs a whole season of Manchester United integration before he thinks of kicking a ball.
Yeah, not 100%. Bombay Bad Boy saying here, I like Osimhen, but we don't need him. With Kane and Greenwood, we'd ball. But yeah, go on, Wilson.
My thing is this, man. My thing is this. When we talk about Greenwood, we have to put aside like whether we want him or we don't want him in the club. That's a whole difference. Like it's all over Man United. If they get rid of him, I'm gonna support it. If he plays, I'm gonna deal with it. That's just how I'm gonna go with it. But if I look at his talent and what he's capable of delivering, and what is he, 22 now, 23 years old, yeah, and natural ability, and you're telling me he has an 8-week pre-season. And he comes back into the Man United team and he can't score goals. That's what you want me to believe.
Your own boy after pre-season was declining. Jadon Sancho.
He's a different player. No, see Greenwood. Look, come on, guys. Have we forgot what we're dealing with in terms of talent?
He's a good player, but 2 years without playing a game, bro. Match fitness wise, it's mad,
especially the way Ten Hag plays.
He went January last year.
Mandem, he's 22 years old. Yeah, I get it, Mandem. Yeah, he's 22 years old. Yeah, he's 22 years old, Mandem. Yeah. I'm saying to you is this: with his pre-season, he's going to score more goals than Weghorst. I tell you, Greenwood comes back if they let him in.
But that's
gonna say what we gonna say. Are we saying he's going to come back and score 30 goals? No. If he comes back and he has a full pre-season, I can put money on it. He'll score more than 15 goals.
Of course, that's not the.
Let's take the bet. No, let's take the bet. Let's take the bet. I'm willing to take that bet.
Yeah, cool. Let's take that bet. If Greenwood comes back, forget about. Listen to this, guys. We're not talking about whether we agree, because you see me. I'm happy with him not coming back in, and we just go a different direction.
No,
I'm just saying.
Talent. We're sticking on the talent, Musa. If
we stick on the talent,
regardless
he'll
of whether we
score
like
15
it or
goals.
not. If we like it or not, if he comes in and scores goals, that's not the argument. The argument is he still going to be able to adapt to what Ten Hag wants him to? And that doesn't mean just about goal. For example, Cristiano Ronaldo, he could bag goals. He's a bagsman. If you give him an opportunity, of course, he declined in whatever reason you want to go into. Overall, he's a bagsman. So if you're saying, he can grab 10, 15 goals, But we saw obviously in that first season we come back to United as a team. We weren't really pulling it and we were losing games. Doesn't matter if he scores 15, 20 goals because the team is still, there's still much more work to do than other than score goals. This is the point. Ten Hag wants more than just goals from his striker. So can he do it? That's the question. That's the question.
He can.
That's a big question.
If he was like 28 plus 29 and that, I'll be like saying, but with youth on his side, and I know he's not a slouch. He's not like some overweight slouch. Greenwood with 2 months of pre-season with the team, training at the high levels, will get back to a level where he can do an hour for United and score goals. Whether we want him or not, that's something else.
You can go do it in China.
Before you go, Bombay Bad Boy says, okay, do you know what he's been doing in the background? Yeah, look, leave the legal things and enjoy football. I'm sorry, Wout has better link-up play than Osimhen. We need Kane or similar. Go on, Brian. I'm big up to everybody who's here. There's 700 of you in here. Please like the video, man. If you're watching right now, hit the like button. But yeah, go on, Brian.
I'll just say something on the last part when he said we need Kane or similar. The only thing I don't like about Kane, and I'll go back to Greenwood afterwards. The only thing I don't like about Kane is where when we had Ronaldo, at times he came out left wing and we were so screaming, you need to be in the box. That's one thing I don't like about Kane is he floats around too much. I want a striker that's in the box at all times because sometimes we're putting in mad crosses and no one's there to finish off those crosses. But then going back to Greenwood, you're saying this, but based on him playing right wing for Man United, he's never really played up front number 9 for our club. So we don't even know how he looks like as a number 9 in this team. So for me, that's just
he looks 10 times better than Anthony. I'll tell you that for sure.
Nah, he's good. He's a good, like, he's talented player. I can say that 100%. But he wants to be a number 9 he wants to be a number 9 in the next few, like in his future. We haven't seen him play number 9 for Man United at all, or maybe like 1 or 2, 3 games.
I think the negatives outweigh the positives anyway. In terms of the team morale, I don't think Ten Hag would want to bring.
Yeah, we're not talking about that right now, lads. We're just talking about talent based only. I don't want to get our morality based and start saying that he's not talented and he couldn't come back after pre-season and getting his fitness back and do a job for us.
Based on talent, sir.
But because it's so long out, you're basing it off a pre-season. But mostly you got to remember, when you're out for a year out, you've got to then take at least a few months of high.
Wrong. That's actually wrong. It's wrong because when players go away for, let's say, 4, 5, 6 weeks, their fitness is pretty much at the same level as someone that has done nothing in about a year. Your fitness is gone. You can get that back in pre-season. It might take a little bit more just to get match. It will just take him a little bit longer. It will take him. It will take him August as well on top of pre-season to get sharp.
Yeah,
that's the truth.
We've seen it this year with Ronaldo.
That's the truth.
If you take 3 weeks out of football, of fitness and journey, and you're fully fit, 3 weeks will take out 70% of all your fitness that you know.
Right,
Just
hold
like
on.
that,
So,
by the way.
when nobody's questioning talent. The 2 months pre-season, he's fit to play and he's great, right? He's back into the team. All is good.
Yeah.
How come Mr. Jadon Sancho, who's extremely talented, full pre-season?
They're not the same players, big man. You're trying to go like they're the same players. They're not the same players.
But the fact is, Jadon Sancho hasn't played 90 minutes in a while.
Yeah, but Greenwood's different. It's genetics. He's an athlete. Sancho's not athletic. He's not. No,
Sancho's thing right now is not even
naturally
about
athletic.
fitness.
He's not naturally
It's
athletic.
just like the manager wants to change it up. You think if Sancho? Let me give you an example.
He's an athlete, but he's not as naturally athletic as what Greenwood is naturally.
No, but Mandem.
They both have to pass tests. What are you talking about?
No. You
Mandem.
don't understand what I'm saying. You can get fit. Anyone can get fit, but you can talk about naturally athletic people. I'm not naturally athletic, bro. Some people are naturally way more athletic than me.
But Mandem.
Because different people have different genetics. People have different genetics.
Mandem, what I'm asking you is this. Do you think if Sancho's 100% fit, it will make Ten Hag play him a whole 90 minutes? You think he's not playing 90 minutes because he's not fit? It's got nothing to do with his fitness. Sancho can play 90 minutes. Ten Hag just wants to switch it up.
Listen,
he just wants to switch it up.
With the Sancho situation, like, I have to treat it as sense. I look at individuals in it. I can't lie, because the reason I have to separate the two is for the simple fact is, I believe Ten Hag, based on what we know so far, is trusted him to go away and sort his mental health out, done his thing.
Yeah.
Now I know that he's now coming back into this squad, but he's not rushing him out there and he's not making him the main man. when Ollie's lot bought him and Ollie didn't buy him. So yeah, when them idiots at Ed Woodward that bought him for stupid price, we had false expectations of what he should be doing based on videos we were seeing in Megan Man in Dortmund and stuff, not understanding his player profile. We put a level of pressure on him on top of what he was going through to get him to a situation where he then had to go and find his own therapy. Fair play, do your thing. Now he's come back. Ten Hag is a smart man. He's clearly done that with different individuals. He handled Ronaldo, he handled Martial, he's handled Rashford differently. He's now handling Sancho as an individual. I feel genuinely it's not so much based on his talent or abilities. And I do believe, yes, although he's flirting with different positions he wants to use him, I think putting Sancho on the back so he's not in the limelight as much to build his confidence up slowly, as you've seen when he's come off and made a few substitute appearances, he scored that goal. He's obviously linking up play. He's having small effects. When he started his first game not long ago,
even against Southampton, he was actually running hard. You know,
yeah. So in Southampton, he was losing the ball. His focus off his touch was gone, but he was still having an effect. I think with Sancho, it's a slow progress to getting him back into a level of confidence within the team, so we can go right. You are now starting. You've come from here, brought yourself back here. Now let's get it. Because now I'm going to give you. Now I can't give you no leeway. I think Sancho's still on a development program to reintegrating him back into the team as a first 11 player. That's my own opinion. I'll be honest.
Yeah.
Bombay
says here, Faz is wearing a Greenwood t-shirt under there. I know it. Sancho and Greenwood have a mindset, brother. Greenwood is kind of proven. He's probably our most talented youngster.
They kind of proven. Sancho went to the Bundesliga and registered multiple goals and assists. What's the difference?
Sancho's a bad boy.
Sancho, wait. When
it's just a prem.
I don't want to even. I'll be about Anthony Sancho and everything.
Ten Hag don't want him. What if Ten Hag don't want Greenwood then? What if
We're not talking about. We're talking about if he does. We're talking about if he does. Yeah, we're talking about a profile. We're saying if they club keep him and they get a Harry Kane, it's game, set, and match. You know what I'm saying? And that's why, because we can say as much as we want. We're only on the basis if they want him. Because like I told you, man, the Emmerdale things they're having a baby and getting married. That's what's happening. So their case is closed, bro. It's just a mess. So what do we do with it? We ain't got nothing. We can't say much about it. As a fan base, we're gonna get on with it either way. We might be upset for a while, but we're gonna get on with it.
You don't know what the owners are gonna do as well. The owners are gonna come in with their own mindset.
Development plans left, right, and center, and we think Greenwood after 2 months of preseason will be back.
Bro, that's what I say to you, Mandem. You see, another thing we're talking about Harry Kane here, and would he drop off in goals and increase in assists? The amount of chances Weghorst has had, and I asked you, man, in the group. Every shot is a slide tackle. I don't get it. So every shot is a slide tackle. No, I don't get it. Every shot is just he's going to ground. It's a slide tackle. So for me, you can't tell violence. Me. Nah, but that's what every shot he's had, he falls to ground. He's going down. So my thing is this: you can't tell me Harry Kane's gonna have those chances. And if Harry Kane would have came to us in January, he would have tacked away 15 goals already by now.
Do you remember the old Pro Evo cover on the front? You had that like shadow doing that.
Yeah. That's what's always going on. So so when I'm looking at alternatives coming in and getting his opportunities, I don't care. Like the Greenwood thing for me. I'm not in it. I'm just waiting for whatever Man United do. We move forward. But he doesn't get Weghorst's chances, fit or not fit, and he don't put them away. The brother's left foot, right foot. He scores how he wants, and that's the end of that's his talent. Like you can't take people's talent away. Yeah, you can take. Is he fit? Is he not fit? But his natural given talent, he's got it, and he's 22, and he's either going to do it here or do it elsewhere. It doesn't matter. I just want new owners, and for me, guys, right now the season's kind of since because I believed in the title race thing. But since it kind of, Faz, we were in this title race, but since it kind of went left, I come to realize out of all the competitions we've been in this season and out of all the chases we've been in, the most excited I've actually really been has been in the Prem, getting closer to the top. You know what I mean? Chasing Arsenal down a bit, City. And since that's gone, I'm not as happy no more. I'm just ready to press reset. Like I get all these other trophies, Europa League, FA Cup, but really my heart, it's not the same. Ever since the top's looking a bit far, so I've come to realize I really want the league. So now I'm looking at it different. Like, cool, let me press restart. We get new owners. Who are the players Man United are going to get in? So we're close to that. So like we're really in it all the way because this Europa League, FA Cup, and all Carabao Cup, it was nice. I'm not going to lie, but
we'll taste
I
that.
realize.
We'll taste that. The good thing about the thing is we've tasted it now. Now we go for the big ones, isn't it? Let me ask you a question, Brian, as well. You know, as well for obviously Anthony and Sancho and them ones, they need to be in the plans if you want to look at, you know, especially Sancho, you know, because he wants to be part of that front three with Harry Kane and Osimhen. So again, do you reckon Ten Hag will look at the players around them to kind of make his decision? Because we've got technical players, we've also got players that can be playing behind, like Garnacho and Rashford, even Palestra as well. You know what I mean? So will that decide anything?
I wanted to focus a little bit on Sancho because he played number 10 last week, and even though we couldn't see it for a full game, before the game, Ten Hag said, like, what I like about Sancho is he's got quick feet, he can press. But the most thing that was important for me is he said he can run in behind. And then I'm looking at, if you saw the link up between him and Weghorst, and we didn't see it for a full game, and then you just have to imagine him and Sancho. He wants someone as a striker, and you've seen that with Weghorst or Martial, to come deep and then someone to go in behind. And we've seen that with Rashford a lot of times this season. We've seen that with Anthony. And I think that's why he tried to put Sancho in the number 10, because he can go in behind. He's very good with his feet. And I liked Sancho's game against Southampton because he got that weight of pass. He got good technical ability. So I think that's why maybe Kane would make more sense, because he wants his midfielders to come to make runs over the defense and then come into the box. So that's why it would make more sense for me, because Osimhen is someone that he'll go by himself, but Kane is someone that will drop deep and then allow other players to come into play. So I think Kane makes more sense if you look in that way. And if you look at the last transfer that he did at Ajax, he got Haller, he got Brobbey, and he got, I think it was one more striker that he got. And they're all strikers where they're good on link-up play. They can also, all of them can come into the ball. But what they have and Kane doesn't have is the explosive. So that's maybe one thing that you have to pick and choose.
You're forgetting one thing. Sancho played with Haaland, by the way. Just letting you know, but Haaland's not the greatest on the ball. So Osimhen, you could say is quite Haaland-like in that.
That's true.
He can definitely play. If you push back a line because you got fast players and you have to think about that, Sancho ultimately gets more space then.
But that's the thing.
But he plays better with, as we've seen, he probably would play a lot better with someone like Martial who can hold up the ball a little bit better. So Kane, them type of players that can hold up the ball, you play better link-up play, but will it be effective?
But what's the narrative? What's the narrative about Haaland for the last few weeks before he scored yesterday? It was cool, he scored 25 goals, but City look different, rare, because he doesn't do this, and this. And with Kane, you're 100% secure that he will bring the other part and he'll buy goals.
But just to add as well, this thing about, they say, players slow down attacks. Sancho ain't faster than Anthony, right? But look what Sancho did with Haaland. Look what he was doing in a team where he had ball-playing fullbacks, ball-playing midfielders, and a striker who literally puts his head down, doesn't even look left or right, and he does him horse racing, and you've got the shields,
gallops
running in the box. That's all he does.
I think the good thing about it. Sorry, Faz, go on, bro.
You get, if you bring in the like of a striker who literally just gets in the box, you don't have to worry if a player is slowing down the ball or slowing down the attack, because Sancho and Anthony both slow down attacks. But look at what can happen if a striker that's main job is to be, as they say, in between the sticks. If he can do that well, I know link-up play and all of that is good, but let's be honest, Osimhen's link-up play and all of that is not bad. If people make
it's not bad at all.
It's not bad at all.
It's not bad at all. It's not bad at all.
You are not
it's
one.
Just not elite, but you don't need elite.
Not one person has mentioned this. Not one person today has mentioned this. Benny McCarthy. Imagine what Benny McCarthy could do. He's our striker coach. Look at
with
what
Osimhen as well.
Look at what he could do with the Victor Osimhen, man. Benny McCarthy could do miracles with our front line.
I can't lie, man. We need a reason. We need a reason to have the get a Nigerian shirt. I know I do anyway. So this. Listen, I'm off Jamaican in it, but I rep Niger, man.
I
need a Niger shirt, man. Bring us,
their kits are sick.
I want football, man. Come, bro. That's what I want, man.
Their kits are sick. Their kits are sick.
Can I give
one
one
this question though? Is with this question here, like we've not seen the Sancho like crazy form, so it's kind of like difficult to discuss what is a Sancho form. He had a period in March of last year where he was buzzing, but we haven't seen it consistently. You know what I mean? And that's why it's difficult to kind of answer. But go on,
the last thing about Osimhen, and I don't like talking about this part because obviously I'm African myself, but when you've got AFCON in January and you have to miss a certain player for a month, do you also want that at your club?
Yeah, I think that's cool, man. I think it's been here since the start of the competition, and it's never really affected it as people go on. I think one thing I was going to say earlier as well is that I think that elite managers have come to accept that this is a squad game. It's no longer your first 11. And that's why you're seeing man like De Bruyne just sitting on the bench for 3 games, and you're just thinking, why ain't he playing? What's going on? And no one ain't saying anything over there because other players are stepping in that ball and play games. Even Gundogan, I think like these guys are ballers whenever they come in. Like they've got a squad, like 6 are out this game, 6 are playing the next game, then they're out for 2 or 3 games, then they're in again. I just feel like at United we're stuck on this first 11. And I don't want to be stuck on this first 11. I just want to have a squad, and when people step in, we're not on this, McTominay's coming off the bench, blah, blah. We start making noise. I just want to know that they're ballers on the bench. Yeah.
We're running on Bismillah insurance right now, man.
This is what I'm saying.
Oh,
so this is difficult.
Also want
so
John
right
O'Shea and
now,
them man to come back.
I just want that squad.
Hold on, just quickly.
No.
Keep Martial on the bench. How about that? Use him as a 15-minute, 20-minute player. GA merchant that he is.
Yeah.
Let's keep him
I'll be real. He needs to be that person, man. Now, man. If he wants to survive,
I don't mind keeping him on.
If he wants to survive, he's gone, man.
Yeah. Last question before we wrap up. Sancho. Ross is asking everyone, how long do you give guys Sancho and why? For me, I'm not saying he's got to the end of the season, but he has to give the fans something to hope for to the end of the season. That's all I'm saying. Because I think
Sancho played bad though in his last 2 games. Have you watched him in his last 2 games? And thought,
I think he was our best player on Saturday, on Sunday.
That's what I'm saying.
When he was number 10 versus Barcelona, he was horrible. But other than that, that's it. Yeah. As number 10 versus Barcelona, he was horrible, but he haven't really given it. I want to wait until Ten Hag has his players and then judge it accordingly that way. That's personally me.
Yeah, because for me, he's been playing tidy and being safe, and he's not just bursting into the numbers. Yeah, a bit too much, but he's just got back. He's just seeing what's going on. He's feeling himself again. I think pre-season again, go again, new mentality, but he hasn't come on, and I'm thinking, the brother's lost it, because I've seen him do special little bits that I know that he's capable of in little bursts, and I'm like, all right, cool, he's still got it.
How long are you giving him, Musa? How long are you giving him?
Me, looking at the Man City squad, Sancho don't need to go nowhere. I'm not rushing Anthony, Sancho, Garnacho, Ahmed. I'm not rushing any of them. I'm just saying none of them are starters. If Ten Hag wants you to play the first hour, if he wants you to play this is what I'm trying to say. So for me, I'm not rushing any of them. If I'm just like, if the manager's giving you an hour today, half an hour the next game, and you're still contributing to the win and contributing to the play, I'm happy with you. It's only when you become a problem for us now. You're not doing the right things when you're playing, when you're on the pitch. You haven't got the right mentality. That's when I'm going to be upset. But I'm not really upset. I can be upset with having... Imagine having a bench of Ahmed, Garnacho, Sancho, all of these type of players. What are you upset about?
Can I just come in as well quickly? Just say this. How many of our legends, when they signed for Man United, didn't have the best of the start to their careers? Patrice Evra, one of our legends, on his podcast, he says, at the first season, it was horrible. They wanted to... Manager came up to me and manager said, I might even send you back for free. He said it on the podcast. He said it was that bad. His agent, Patrice Evra's agent, told Patrice Evra in his flat that I'm sorry for making this deal happen. I am sorry for bringing you to Manchester United. I don't think it was the good deal for you. And that is Patrice Evra, ladies and gentlemen. I am not at all going to write off a 22, 23-year-old. If you think that you want to write off a 22, 23-year-old, I actually question your ball and just you as a football fan. These are 20, early 20s players. At 25, 26, 27, start to hit their prime. They gain the football IQ, they gain the knowledge, and then start really balling, Then
that's Mourinho. That's what Mourinho done to De Bruyne, Salah, and them man at Chelsea.
That's football nowadays, isn't it?
That's people nowadays.
Everyone's getting young, isn't it?
Also, Ten Hag is not going anywhere. Not at any cost. We are never letting this man go until he's here and he's getting a success. He's staying, right? So if that's the case, Ten Hag has done miracles with the likes of Rashford. He's done miracles even with Frankie de Jong. He was the one that brought Frankie de Jong. Look at his talent ID when he brought in Kudus to Ajax. Look at Kudus now. Look at Van der Beek, a really decent baller. The more injury took out his season. De Ligt, this guy, Bayern Academy as well. If anybody knows what to do with young ballers, it's Ten Hag. It's Ten Hag. He's not an Antonio Conte. Word to expressions. He don't need ready meals. This guy can food. He knows what to cook. I'm leaving Ten Hag on it as it is. Sancho's wages, Sancho's contract. Guess what? Not my headache. My headache is 4-3-3. My headache is 4-2-3-1. I'm gonna concentrate on that.
I think that's the main bit though, Faz. That's it's right for you to say because I know obviously every player's got their own individual situation. And I feel after course of what Ten Hag and how he's dealt with certain individual players, he's dealt with them as individuals and individual moments. So with Sancho, I'm looking at Ten Hag going, until you don't see my man fit enough to play your system or your squad, then I'm gonna back it and say, listen, like he needs to go. But until that happens, it's cool. Like I get the fans, and this what's mad, yeah. It's the social media generation. Like I know us, man, yeah, we grew up when social media was just starting out and we got through it, but we knew we had a life before that, yeah? The generation that have been brought up just slightly out of it, you don't really get it. They've been brought up on having, how can I put it, complacency and having a lot of information all at once. So they want things now. Their mindset is now. So they judge people on a short-term basis of, if you're not doing it in 6 months, cool. You're world class if you have one season where you're world class, like Salah was world class, you have one season, whatever. Yeah, there's no time or patience in this world that we live in for patience, consistency. So it trickles into these kind of debates.
It's FIFA football.
Sancho,
you know it.
You just have to let
What
it
did
go.
Pep say though, man? What did Pep say?
It's the FIFA generation.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's get these super
It's
chats
that
in.
FIFA generation with the stats and
Julia
all of
Roberts
that.
knows who the bigger club is. That's what he said.
I want to get these last super chats before we wrap up. Bombay Bad Boy says the fact that you admit that you haven't seen Sancho form should inform you who's superior. I'm done. We need an unselfish winger more, in my opinion. Masood says here, Kane has the Spurs loser mentality. No thanks. Give me Osimhen and either Tony as back. Rashford, Osimhen and Tony would be a lethal combination. Bad Boy, it says no one's writing anyone off. Who's writing Sancho off? Just saying one man supreme and the other one needs a hug and TLC. Harsh, but listen, we're going to wrap it up here. Big up to the community. Make sure you guys like the video. There's still 700 of you in the chat. Like the video, man. It don't cost you a penny to like the video. So do it. Support the channel. Make sure you go follow Never a Foul Kaz. Make sure you follow him over there. Make sure you go follow Planet Fast in the building. Make sure you go follow Brian as well. Make sure you go check out his stuff as well. Big up on him for coming on. Musa, as always, make sure you check out Reso, CIC, and obviously Naji's Spaces, the best spaces in the game on Twitter. Make sure you go and do that, people. I'll be back later on for the watch along Liverpool, Real Madrid. Until then, man, people. Hopefully we win as well, man. Real Betis.
Hala Madrid, let's go.
Come on, love.